What's going on, guys? Even though the market didn't move too much today, we actually have some very crazy news to go over. To start off, there was actually a giant rumor leaked all over Twitter this morning of a fake bombing at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and this initially actually sent the market tanking down in a major way, and then everyone realized that this image was actually created by artificial intelligence, and it was completely fake news. So that was pretty crazy. It's definitely something you don't see every day, and like I said, it actually had like some real world impact as the market came tanking down pretty quickly. So that was crazy there, but we also have a lot of other interesting information and good plays to go over for tomorrow. Like I said, even though the market didn't move too much today, there's actually a lot to go over. So one thing that is also pretty interesting is Meta was actually hit with a record-breaking $1.3 billion or 1.3 billion euro fine for violating privacy laws in Europe, right? And most people would read that news and say, you know what? A 1.3 billion euro fine is not that good. And it's, anything with a record-breaking fine is probably something you don't want to hear. And most people look at Meta stock and say, all right, it probably fell today. Nope, the stock boomed to the upside. Meta actually loved this news, and the stock was actually up 1% from Friday's close. But when you look closer in the day, from the pre-market lows to the high of day, Meta was actually up like 5%. So like a 5% range is pretty good, and then it had like a 3% range from lows, so it's actually pretty decent. So that was interesting. We have some more of that crazy movement. But for all of my DraftKings fans out there, including myself, we actually had some very exciting news today where DraftKings is actually up around 5%, and it was actually up a lot more earlier in the day, where there was actually news that they actually got upgraded from neutral to buy, and they now have a price target of $30 a share, and this is coming from UBS. So that's great to see. You guys know that I've been following DraftKings for a while. This is one of my favorite stocks for the long term, and of course, when you have decent news like that, and on top of that, when you have DraftKings up around 150% just over the past couple months, it's definitely great to see. So that's awesome there, and DraftKings is a stock that I plan to just keep on buying into more and more over time, and just building a nice nest egg. And as this company grows and as the entire sports betting industry develops, I think it'll be pretty exciting over the next couple years. So that's definitely exciting news. And there was also some pretty surprising news with the Amazon One system. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with this, but Amazon actually has a payment system that allows you to buy things with your palm, literally. And what's new today is they actually announced that you're going to be able to buy alcohol with this Amazon One situation, or with this Amazon One system, I should say. And it's pretty crazy, because let's say you forget your ID, you could just use your palm in this situation. But what's even cooler is that, sometimes we see, you could say like innovative technology like this, and it realistically will never be implemented. But this system is actually set to be implemented at the Coors Field Baseball Stadium in Denver, Colorado, and it will let attendees use Amazon One to buy alcohol. So very interesting there. Looking at Amazon stock, this news didn't move it too much today, but Amazon has had a really good run since the beginning of the year. So, it's not like game-changing news, but, if this technology catches on, maybe it can give Amazon a competitive edge, versus some of these other big tech stocks. But I thought it was interesting, and like I said, it's not something you see every day. So I definitely wanted to cover it. And of course, we've had a lot of big earnings over the past couple of weeks, but we have one more absolutely giant earnings release for this week, and that is actually with the one and only NVIDIA. So this stock has basically been running to the upside nonstop since October of 2022. It is like one of the biggest and baddest powerhouses in the entire market. It's up 200% from lows in October. And this thing is, it's a runner, right? That's all I can say. It's a runner for sure. And this stock is actually set to report earnings on Wednesday after close. So everyone's going to be watching this stock. It moves in giant ways. It's normally really great for day trades. And everyone's looking at this stock saying, you know what? It's up 200%. It finally has to pull back. But then other people say, you know, all right, it's up 200% and, you know, it just keeps on going and going and going. So it's like, it's such an interesting situation because most times when you see big tech stocks up this much this quickly, they normally pull back, but normally they don't even get to this 200% mark. Most of the time they'll pull back when they're up like, let's say 100% or 125%. So, you know, Nvidia right now is at $311 and realistically this thing should have started to pull back closer to like 250 or even like 260, but it just keeps going higher and higher and higher. So it's going to be one of the craziest reports of the week. You guys know I don't play earnings too much, but I like to ride the momentum afterwards. So for example, like let's say we go to Netflix, a lot of times, like especially historically, you can see that Netflix will report earnings and they will continue in that same direction for days and weeks after the fact that earnings is already out, right? So what I'm looking to do with like Nvidia is let's let the earnings craziness go away. So maybe on Thursday or even Friday, once the direction is picked, you can say, that's when I would look to ride the momentum. So, you know, of course, there is a lot of opportunity playing the earnings before the report, but of course it's also riskier. So keep that in mind, but you know, it's one of those crazy stocks. Another thing worth noting is that Wednesday will be extra important, not only because of Nvidia earnings, but because of the FOMC minutes report we have as well. So essentially, what we're going to have on Wednesday is a giant recap of the previous FOMC meeting when like basically the most powerful people in the world when it comes to the economy, what they said and what they were discussing in their meeting to make their interest rate decision. So these types of events bring in a lot of extra volatility. So on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, be prepared for that. That normally does move the market quite a bit. And we can also just see, you know, looking at the schedule, we have Fed Logan speaking on Tuesday. So tomorrow, we have the FOMC minutes on Wednesday. We have initial jobless claims on Thursday. Fed Collins speech on Thursday, and we have personal spending and income on Friday. So we have a pretty nice week lined up on the economic data side of things. But what's very interesting is, like I said, Nvidia earnings and the situation that we actually have setting up with the SPY right now. Looking at the market or SPY, we can see basically since 2022, SPY has just been making lower and lower and lower and lower highs, right? Very consistently. And what we're seeing right now is SPY actually starting to make higher lows, which is normally a bullish thing. So SPY is at like a weird part right now where it's like showing a lot of good upwards, you could say indications, but also a lot of downwards indications as well. And we're in a situation where we're seeing a lot more chop than anything else. Looking back at the market last week and even a lot of today, it was just very choppy. So it was up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? Very choppy and boring. But earnings can change that a lot. And while SPY is choppy, we are starting to see some, you know, stocks individually have some really good moves and momentum. For example, the first one is actually Pfizer, and this is actually one of the momentum plays for tomorrow. So Pfizer actually had an amazing day today. It was up around 5.4%, and they had some crazy news where we could see Pfizer oral weight loss drug may be as effective as Ozempic injection by Novo Nordisk, study says. So basically, everyone knows the very popular weight loss drug, Ozempic. It's been used by a lot of, you could say, influencers and, you know, celebrities. And as we could see, even billionaire tech mogul Elon Musk, you know, it's very, very popular. And Pfizer is actually showing some potential that they could actually have a rival to that drug. Of course, that is very giant for a company like Pfizer, and that's why the stock is booming intraday. So for tomorrow, keep a very close eye on this $39 level. Pfizer is already running at that level right now in the after hours, but this stock is moving. It has momentum. It has a long history of running continuously with drug-related news, so keep a close eye on it for tomorrow. This one can be a runner. With the next momentum play, we actually have Tilray, TLRY. This one was up around 5% today. There was a little bit of news with, related to marijuana. Any types of news related to marijuana or just, legalization or anything like that definitely helps Tilray, considering they are a marijuana company. This stock is very, very crazy, very volatile, but if it does break above 265 tomorrow with a lot of good volume and momentum, it can continue even higher. With the last one, we actually have Starbucks, and this one is to the downside. So Starbucks dumped by around 2.5% today, and if it breaks below that $102.50 level, it can definitely continue lower. So keep that on close watch tomorrow. And of course, don't forget about good old Tilray and Pfizer, as these stocks have that crazy potential to the upside. They're definitely big movers. But there are a couple stocks that I specifically want to point out. The first one being NEO. This stock had an amazing day today, up around 9%. This stock has had a wild past couple of years. It basically went from lows of around like $2 in 2020 all the way up to highs of like 68, and now it's all the way down to like $9 again. So it has had a very crazy ride, and it's starting to get some of that good upwards bullishness and momentum back. So I'm going to have NEO on close watch for tomorrow. If you see it start to pop off just like it did this morning in right when the market opened, it has that like runner-like potential. And I've actually been talking about this stock quite a bit, not only in yesterday's video, but just over the past couple weeks, and it's been working amazing so far. So keep it close on your watch list. And another stock is actually AMD. These chip stocks like AMD and NVIDIA are, like I said, some of the biggest and baddest powerhouses in the entire market, and they are showing just very slight signs of weakening momentum. Intraday today, they were still very strong, but if you look at, let's say, NVIDIA, the higher you go and the more extreme your valuation gets, the harder it is to run. And surprisingly, NVIDIA was actually in the red today, and normally all these chip stocks move together, and actually AMD is a lot weaker than NVIDIA. On top of that, AMD is coming very, very close to a strong resistance level right around 110. So for tomorrow, I am watching AMD to the downside, but only if we see like a strong rejection right off this like 109 to 110 area. If AMD opens up tomorrow and it's ripping to the upside, I'm not going to try and fight the, you could say, swarm of bulls. I would just not play it. But, like I said, if we do see a rejection off this 109 to 110 resistance level, it can be a good play down, ultimately for a retest of like 105. So that's a pretty awesome risk-reward ratio. And on top of that, it can actually fall lower than 105, closer to like 103. So keep this one close on your radar. But it is now time for my favorite part of the video, and that is the big money trade of the day. Today, we are looking at MQ. Most of you are like, what the hell is MQ? I've never heard of this stock. So it's actually up 6% today. It's called Mercata. Essentially, someone put $900,000 into the MQ 5 strike call options that expire on June 16th of 2023. This stock is very oversold. It has highs of around $38 that it made in the end of 2021. Right now it's lingering right around $5. So it's had quite the drop. But what's good is that over the past couple of weeks and months, it actually has been getting a lot better. So if let's say we go to like a 2-hour chart, we can see that this stock has been making higher and higher lows, which is a pretty bullish sign. And on top of that, when you have, a 6% update with decent volume, that definitely does show some good potential. So basically, someone bought a ton of these 5 strike call options that expire on June 16th. If you don't understand how call options work, essentially this is a bet by some whale that this stock is going to boom to the upside. I like the risk-reward ratio on this one. It is not necessarily the most safe play ever, but it has that good risk reward setup, you can say, where maybe you get in calls here, and if things go great, maybe the stock can test that $5.60 level, and maybe even like $6.50. And if things go bad, maybe you cut losses around close to like 4 to 4.10. So the risk reward situation's good. It's a volatile stock, and it's very oversold. So keep this one close on your radar. As most of you probably already know, Tom is not with us today. He had to take care of some things, but he will be back with us tomorrow. But overall, we have SPY in that chop zone type pattern, you can say, but we are seeing some very amazing momentum from individual stocks like Pfizer, NIO, you could say TLRY, and even like Starbucks. So that's good. I think the biggest thing right now is maybe trying to not trade SPY, given it is so choppy, but trading other individual stocks, like I said, like Pfizer or Tilray or NIO, can be a lot better and just easier to trade. So keep that in mind. Besides that, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, you'll see my videos recommended to you more often. And if you're not already in the Stocked Up Discord chat, definitely join up. It's completely free. It's that first link in the description in the comments down below. We have a bunch of great people and traders in the chat. So, it's a great place for networking, and we also have free day trades every single morning as well. So definitely join up. It'd be awesome to have you in the chat. But besides that, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's have an amazing week.